Okay, so let's take Jennifer Lawrence and let's put her in the role as a serious yet determined teenage girl. She has a younger sister who she adores, her dad is dead, and her mom has never really been the same since her dad's death. She lives in a village in the woods, so to say, and she spends most of her time in the woods, often alone and usually hunting. What movie am I thinking about? Your first instinct might be that I'm talking about award-winning and hit movie The Hunger Games, starring Jennifer Lawrence. But you would be, in fact, wrong. I'm actually talking about 2010's hit movie Winter Bone, starring Jennifer Lawrence as 16-year-old Ree Dolly, and directed by filmmaker Debra Granik. Winter's Bone throws Lawrence into the limelight, opening the door for her to nab the famous role of Katniss Everdeen. Winter's Bone follows Ree Dolly as she goes on a hunt for the truth about her dad's disappearance and death, throwing her into the dangerous world her dad left behind. Winter's Bone has won numerous awards, including the Grand Jury Prize for Dramatic Film, and has received 4 Oscar nominations for Best Picture, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Actress in a Leading Role, and Best Supporting Actor. The movie was a skin and bones type of film, as I like to put it, meaning there wasn't really a lot of extravagant special effects or sequences, but rather simple interactions between the characters in their dangerous and death-filled world, exactly how the director, Debra Granik, intended it to be, as that's her style. Well, now you might be asking yourselves, who exactly is Debra Granik? Well, Debra Granik is a director who takes perfectionism to a whole new level. Born in Cambridge, Massachusetts, Granik grew up loving the concept of neorealism, a film movement that focuses on the poor and working communities of the country. Granik's films all have something in common. Inspired by her love for neorealism, Granik focuses on survivors, people who live on the fringes of society just hoping to make it by. Granik's first feature-length film, 2004's Down to the Bone, picks apart a cocaine addict's life as she tries to fight her addiction and make a better world for her family. Her next feature-length film was 2010's Winter's Bone, which follows the story of Ree as she attempts to survive after finding out the truth about her dead dad and the dangerous world he left behind for her. And then her latest film, 2018's Leave No Trace, follows a recluse father and daughter who live off the grid in a forest, living off the land and evading the real world. In between Leave No Trace and Winter's Bone was her 2014 documentary, Stray Dog, which follows a Vietnam veteran as he learns to live with his PTSD after coming back to the States. And now you may be asking, why the long gap between each film? And that is where Granik's perfectionism comes into play. Granik is known to go through various versions of the script for each film, oftentimes changing small details until she believes she's got it right. She also does extensive research about the communities she is portraying, as she refuses to inaccurately show the lives of these people. She also prefers to cast no-name actors who have yet to meet fame, oftentimes searching for actors related to the communities in which she wants to portray in order to give a better representation of these worlds. That's where she discovered Jennifer Lawrence, and she is the reason why Jennifer Lawrence has become the big-name actor we now know her as.
The qualities that you're seeing there, I mean, Tom doesn't live a lifestyle such as that, even though she assures me that it's rugged in Wellington, you know. But the generosity of spirit, the open-hearted qualities that you see in this fictional Tom are very part of Thomason.
Granik also looks for perfection in the actor's world when on set. Not as in she's looking for perfect acting, but she chases the perfect set and scene, making it as real as possible in order to get real reactions and actions from her actors. This can be seen in Winter's Bone, as she didn't have any sets or pieces built, but rather used everything from the neighborhood she was filming in, even leaving the houses they borrowed completely untouched. So all the decorations and furniture you see in the scene were not bought for the movie, but they were already there in the house before, giving a true image of who lives there and a true image of what kind of community Debra Granik is trying to portray in this movie. Debra Granik is also a big fan of using colors as a symbol, with her 3 feature-length films having a distinctive hue or tint to the film that signifies an important theme. For Down to the Bone, the movie is cast in a yellow hue, almost as if the world itself is decaying. This is to symbolize the decaying effects addiction has on the body, as well as the decaying effects addiction has on the lives of the people in the world around you. Winter's Bone has an eerie blue tint, a color that brings up feelings of coldness and death, such as wintertime, in order to signify the death of the world Ree once knew. You can see it not only in the tint, but in also the colors Granik chose for the film, such as Ree's blue jacket or her neighbor's gray and light blue hoodie, as well as the blue shades in the window. and in the movie Leave No Trace, it feels almost as if the color green threw up all over the screen. Green being a symbol of life and growth, which reflects the lively growth of the father and daughter as they fight to keep the world they once knew. In it, you can see green on the boxes, on the plants on the table, green in the woods, green in the jacket they're wearing, green in the tents. Green is everywhere. In basically any place you could, Deborah Granik put the color green in to resemble life.
But I am a very loyal neorealist, you know. I love those films from all countries produce neorealist films, and historically they have, and still in today's world. And I love to tell films about the lives of everyday people. And I love to show real details of their life, visual anthropology. So those ingredients kind of stay very consistent. I think one thing I've grown is to realize that I don't ever need, I don't need elaborate things to, I think I didn't need them then and I don't need them now. I don't need elaborate gear and special circumstances to make my films. And so maybe I've learned to accept that. I've learned that that's good, that's okay for me or good for me, you know. I've learned to maybe find my tribe, you know.
Deborah Granik's influence from neo-realism is definitely seen in all her movies, as we can tell that she pays attention even to the finest detail, from the color of the jacket they're wearing to using things that aren't props that are from the real world to get the best reactions from the actors. She may only do one kind of film, but she knows how to do that kind of film perfectly, and she knows how to make it to a T. And so I'm just ready for her next film. I'm excited to see what she does next, and yeah.